So today we're celebrating the example of children. A well-known writer was surprised to find out her little girl had been cast in the annual Christmas play. She was surprised because her child was very young, but they gave her the part of the Bethlehem star. So after her first rehearsal, the little one comes in just glowing, wearing her costume. It is a 5-pointed star. It's got tinsel everywhere in it. And the mama says, "Oh, well, honey, what do you get to do in the Christmas play?" And the little girl stands up and says, "I just stand there and shine." Today we're celebrating how God uses kids to shine brightly and show us the way to put God's hope and joy into the world. So the pictures on the table down here represent some of the bright shining stars. I see God at work in Malala Yousafzai. I'm not really sure if I'm pronouncing that right. The young Pakistani girl who was shot by the Taliban for standing up for the rights of women and education of girls. She didn't just disappear when she got better. She stood up brighter and stronger and continues to speak out for justice and for education for both boys and girls. I see God at work every February in Tillamook High's charity drive. For 2 weeks, kids spend their time that they get nothing back for to, collect cans, have dinners, wash cars, do whatever kind of chores they can to raise money for Dornbecker's Children's Hospital and for local charities. So I see hope for the future in those kids out there doing things to help others. I see God in my friend Henry. Henry comes to Pub Talk with his mom. He's even been known to skip going to a movie just to come to Pub Talks and hang out and talk important stuff with the adults. Well, Henry had a little boy in his neighborhood that was a bully. Tried to make Henry feel bad, excluded, weird, all the time. And one day when Henry and his siblings were at a neighborhood house, the bully kid was there, the mean kid, and the other kids started to exclude him and make him feel bad. So Henry had this perfect opportunity to give that kid a little bit of his own medicine. But Henry instead chose to shine. Henry stood up and said, "Come on, guys, let's not do that. Why can't we all just play together?" That's God at work. I see God at work in the kids that came to Christmas shop bringing presents for other kids. They were laughing, they were excited, God shining out through them. I see God at work in Owen Walker, this little 4-year-old over in the United Kingdom, who it was time for his birthday, and people were asking what he was getting excited about. And his mom said, "No, not every kid gets fancy gifts. Some kids aren't even lucky enough to have a hot meal." And little Owen was kind of disturbed by that. And he decided, "I will give up my birthday presents and ask people to give food for the food bank." He even gave up his birthday chocolate. And as a chocolate lover, that's a sacrifice. Yes. But he did that so that other kids wouldn't have to go hungry. And I think that's God's light shining in the world. I see God at work in children raising money so that there would be wells for clean drinking water in Africa. Kids who walk in the Relay for Life to help fight the battle against cancer. I saw God at work the other night at Griffin House and the little boy who came with the House of Grace ladies and just sang with joy. He was just shining. I see God at work. I read a story about a 12-year-old in Georgia just recently. You know how schools have those fundraisers? "Please buy my wrapping paper. Please buy my candy." He won the fundraiser and he got an iPad. And it was a big deal. And he sold that iPad and he went to the Angel Tree and bought gifts for 17 other kids so they could have a brighter Christmas. That's God at work. That's God shining through. I even see God at work in little kids in their little grocery basket at Fred Meyer, cheering up the people all around them, smiling, lifting their spirits, just doing sweet things, being kids. So I would suggest today that it's so simple that even a child can do it. Just like kids, you can stand and shine. That's what God asks you to do. You get to help lift up others. You can share the blessings God gave you. Like Malala, you can speak up for people who have no voice in the world, or people who are overlooked. Perhaps you'll follow Henry's example and extend grace and compassion to someone that's hurt you. As you see kids this week, be inspired. See them as a reflection of the child who changed everything, and then be part of the change. That's how we see God at work.